How's it going? Robbo here. In my last videos, I was testing out a new camera that I'd bought, and well, I want to have a bit of a rant. The camera that I've been using before I bought the new camera was the Drift HD Ghost. Brilliant camera. The reason I bought it was because of its sleek design. You get these GoPro cameras that I'm not knocking GoPro, they're a bloody good company, but I personally don't like them because of the way you have to mount them. If you want to mount them on your helmet, you can either stick them on the chin guard of your helmet, but then you've got this bloody great big camera piece sticking out on your chin, or you can stick them on the side of your helmet, but to do that you need to have the proper scaffolding mounts, and it tends to stick out like a bloody sail. So I didn't want one of them, so I thought, right, what cameras are out there? There was Sony cameras that are a bit sleeker, shall we say, but they're bloody expensive. And the other alternative was Drift. So I did some research, as you do before you buy, and they got good reviews, some slight negative reviews about silly little things. So I purchased one, the Drift HD Ghost, and it's been brilliant. I mount it on my Schuberth C3 Pro on the side, and yeah, it doesn't act like a sail. And the other thing about this camera is you can add an external mic to it, and because the mic that comes with it, you can forget about picking up anything other than wind noise when you're on your bike. So obviously I wanted an external mic that I could feed into my helmet, so that I wouldn't get any distortion on it and wind noise, but I'd like to pick up the sound of the bike as we bikers do like. And so I purchased the Drift external mic, and what I've done is I've fed it. That's the mic there. That's the ideal place for me that I've been using this. It doesn't pick up any wind noise because these helmets, the C3 Pro, are brilliant for having greater noise reduction inside the helmet. Yeah, they're just a fantastic helmet, and so comfortable as well. So yeah, so I put it there, and I fed it round the back of the helmet. I'm sorry you can't see, the camera on this laptop's not the best. as no doubt some of you will comment. So yeah, fed it through there, the mic's there, and the jack comes out of the helmet. I'm trying to get the best angle here for you. Anyway, the jack comes out of there, and that feeds into the back of the camera there. Simple. So simple. Anyway, the reason yeah, I mean that's the reason why I bought the Drift anyway. But the problem with this camera, the Drift HD and other Drifts, is the batteries. They are not the best when you're wanting to do, say, a day's vlogging, you know, where you're out on your bike, and they only the battery. I'll just take the battery out. These batteries, the proper Drift batteries, this is the 2300 milliamps, they only last about 2.5. I don't think I've ever got 3 hours out of one. This is like I say, this is the 2300 milliamps battery. I have the 1700 milliamps as a backup. So when I went touring Scotland, I had this, and I had the 1700 milliamp battery as a backup, but I was forever charging them. Luckily on my bike I've got USB ports, one under the seat and one on the just over the near the yoke, and so I bought a charging cradle, but like I say, I was forever charging them, and then after a few hours, and I go back to the digs, I'm charging them, and it was just a pain. So I ended up going on the internet to try and find more Drift batteries. Everywhere was sold out. I went onto Drift's own website. No. Nothing. And I found out that the reason Drift had stopped selling these is because they'd brought out a different camera. I think they brought out the 4K, which is a different setup altogether. It's got a battery pack that you actually put on the side of the camera, and it's certainly nothing like this. So yeah, Drift, when they bring out new cameras, they tend to do away with the accessories you need for the camera you've already got. Now, whether that's a ploy to get you to purchase the new cameras, I don't know. But the camera I've already got, the HD, there's nothing wrong with it. It's perfect. It's great for videoing. The sound's great. You can rotate the lens. It's sleek design. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But you don't seem to be able to get the accessories for it once they stop producing it. So I looked online, like I say, and the only batteries that were coming up for my camera were Chinese knockoffs, and I bought a couple for another trip I did, and they were crap. They didn't last half the time, and they weren't charging properly, and so I binned them. I didn't want to damage my camera, so I binned them. So, what to do next? Right, I didn't want the 4K because I read a lot of reviews on the 4K, and they weren't brilliant. Plus, with my camera, I have the remote that wraps around my handlebars. Brilliant. And I can just turn it on and off, or change the modes and what have you. It's a fantastic remote. Brilliant. Charges up great. It's got its own internal battery. Brilliant. But like I said, they brought out a new phone, the 4K, camera. They brought out the 4K, and their remote, I don't have it because I didn't buy that camera. Their remote is nothing like this. It's more like a child's watch with a very short strap that, I mean, I've only got thin wrists, but I can't get it around my wrist. So how the hell am I supposed to get around the bike? And they don't look as secure as these. I mean, this is all Velcro. You can really tighten these up. But the remote for the 4K is like a rubber, plastic rubber strap, just like a watch strap. And yeah, it didn't look the safest. And the 4K, the picture quality, I mean, I don't need 4K. I just want a camera that I can put a microphone in it, which you can with the HD, that records at 1080p, is it 60 frames per second? 30 frames per second, which will do me. I don't need the 4K. So anyway, I think they might have had a few negative reviews on the 4K, so they brought out a new camera, the Ghost X. So, and the price was brilliant, £130. Brilliant. So I looked into buying one, and the thing that I liked about it was the standard battery that came attached to that camera. You snap them on to the side. At 1080 30 frames per second, I think it lasts 5 hours. 5 hours. That's double the HD Ghost I have. So I bought one. The Ghost X. Now, I'm happy with the battery. I'll show you what. That's just the guide. And there's the camera. And as you can see, it's quite a bit smaller than my Ghost HD. And there's the battery. It clips onto the side, and you can have one touch record. It's just so simple. It's so user friendly. It doesn't come with a remote, but you don't need a remote because it has the one touch record. which is quite a big button anyway, which you can use with your gloved hand. Brilliant. And it has all the features that are like the rotating lens, and it doesn't have a screen. You can buy an accessory screen for it. It has a tiny little window there that you can change your settings, or you can change the settings as I can with my HD. I can change the settings on both with the Drift Life app, which is a good app. Can't fault it. So there it is. Obviously, the camera. That's its charging lead. Not the biggest. And you charge it there's a rubber tab there. Don't know if you can see that. Rubber tab there with a mini USB port, and bear with me. Yeah, there's its charging lead. Tiny. But anyway, it charges it. And in the other port there is where you put your micro SD card, and I think it takes up to 128 gigs card. I've used it, it's great. I think I've got a 32 gig card, which is more than enough for me. I just have spare cards. Now, the problem with this camera is it doesn't have a jack port for the microphone, but what it does come with in the box is one of these. It's a mic adapter that goes into the mini USB port on your camera, and that is the jack port for your microphone. So it's the jack in the jack port side, and then you shove that into your camera. And this is where the problem is. That is a very long USB. It doesn't go all the way into the camera, and so when it's on your helmet, that part of it is moving around, it's bending, it's all over the place. That is the weak point. And every time you give a lifesaver or any turn of your head, it's moving the cable, or it just moves it anyway, and it bends that. So much so that this one, after less than a month of usage, it snapped. You see? That bit came off, and so you're just left with the guts, which is absolutely no good at all. And I didn't realise it had snapped until I tried to review some of my footage, and it was just distorted to hell. You couldn't hear a word I was saying. It was picking up every bit of interference it could. Crap. So I got in touch with Drift. I emailed Drift, and it took them ages to reply. And I also asked them if they made, if I could buy another one of them, because obviously I need it. You know, even though it's crap, I needed one. And the only one that I could see on their website, it was the adapter for the 4K camera. So after a bit of umming and ahhing, I ordered one, and this is what came in a big box. In a jiffy bag. This is what came. I get out of the bag. Now remember, that was the original that came with the camera in the box. And this was supposed to be the answer to my problem. It's a USB cable there attached to the camera mini USB, and attached to that is the mic adapter. So that would have to go into your camera. I like the fact that it's like an elbow rather than a straight up and downy mini USB. So I thought, well, that could solve the problem of it bending. So anyway, it's a shorter USB than that one, so it goes right in to the mini USB port on the camera. But look at this. That's the part that I need for the jack to go in. This part is the part I don't need. Why would I need that? I mean, look at the length of that cable. Now, I'm supposed to be able to fit that and all that cable inside my helmet just so that I can use that. I don't need this cable. I just need that. What the hell were you thinking of, Drift? Why can't you make... What's that? Oh. When you supply everything in the box, why can't you have the accessories that you can buy? Everything that you sell in that box, like the charging cable, separate. The mic adapter, separate. But with that fitting instead of that fitting, I mean, look how big that USB is to that one. That one fits in the camera all the way, so you wouldn't get a weak point on that, and it has the elbow, and so it wouldn't bend around as much as that does. So what are you playing at, Drift? I think you're a great company for making cameras, but your leads, there's always something you cock up. So I can't use my Drift X until I get a proper mic adapter. I can't put all that into my helmet and then that. Where the hell am I supposed... As one of the viewers to my channel put it, it's a helmet, not a top case. So yeah, the camera, fantastic. I love it. It's brilliant. It's sleek, it's smaller, and everything works. But I can't use it because I haven't got a mic adapter now. The crap. I've emailed Drift. I'm still waiting on a reply, but yeah, it's as though the oh, sorry, the other thing is, when they did reply, they told me that I'm not the first person to report an issue with the mic adapter, and that their development team, oh sorry, they will inform their development team today, Monday, and so it's not a one-off. So come on, Drift, get your act together. Now, the way you can improve your profits is by listening to people that actually buy your products. We don't complain because we like to complain. We complain because there is a problem. So I don't want a bloody combination cable. I just want that part. Don't need that because I've already got that, which came with the camera for charging. Why would I need... Oh, do you know? So anyway, yeah, that's my rant. Drift camera, I can't fault it. I'm gonna have to go back to using my HD Ghost, but I can only get 2.5 hours at a time on a single battery, but at least I can mic that one up with the jack. So I'm gonna have to go back to that. So I've got a brand new Ghost X camera that I can't use until Drift come up with a solution. Unless any of you know of any mic adapters that will fit the Ghost X, I I've tried to do some research. I'm not technically minded. I've tried to do some research on to see if the GoPro mic adapters will fit, but I don't want to buy one and find that it's not the correct size of mini USB. I mean, there's so many out there that are 10 pin mini USB, 11 pin mini USB, 5, 8 and so on. So if anybody could sort of point me in the right direction, or if anybody else has had a problem with the mic adapter for the Ghost X, I'd appreciate your comments. But if you do have the Ghost X, just check your mini USB every now and again to make sure it's not bending and eventually snapping like mine did. So yeah, I hope this has been of use to anybody out there, and like I say, I'd appreciate any help with regards my dilemma, and we'll see what Drift come up with. Yeah, Drift, they could so compete with GoPro if they got everything right. Not bits right, but everything right. Because they're a brilliant camera. But the accessories, the leads, just concentrate on everything about the camera and what the camera needs, and you wouldn't go wrong. So whether it's management trying to save costs, or it's the development team that are making the wrong stuff, I just don't know. So yeah, rant over, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.